Welcome back to Retail Rant. Retail Rant is a video series in which I bitch, whine, moan, fuss, complain, and rant about all the trials, tribulations, perils, annoyances, and perturbances of working in the retail industry. Welcome back. You may recall, if you saw the previous Retail Rant, that I work in the electronics department, but occasionally, every now and then, I am called upon to help another department. And more often than not, that other department is the toy department. Okay, how it works, it's pretty simple. We have this cheap-ass little earbud that we put in our ears. And this cheap-ass little earbud is connected to a cheap-ass little walkie-talkie. And emanating from that cheap-ass little walkie-talkie to that cheap-ass little earbud are cheap-ass managers telling us what to do, where to go, complaining, yelling at us, hawking off this and that. And more often than not, they're telling me to go help the toy department. Every time I hear, "John, go help the toy department," my heart sinks into my nutsack. Okay, I begin to question my very existence because every time you walk over to the toy department, it looks like Afghanistan, okay? When the store opens up, it's nice, pristine, clean. Everything is straight. Everything is where it should be on every peg, every last little thing. Because I've closed, I've had to straighten up toys. I've had to put things back. When the store opens, everything is nice. Within an hour, it looks like Detroit. It is awful. It is abysmal. And the reason it is awful and abysmal and in a complete state of disarray and squalor and filth is because of the children. Where there are toys, there are children. Now, you already know what I feel about children. Obviously, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of children. But is it so hard to put something back where it belongs when you're done fussing with it? Is that so hard? Parents, is it so hard to teach your kids that when they're at a store and putting all their disgusting, filthy fingerprints all over things and slobbering all over them, that they should at the very least put it back where they got it? Is it that hard? If you were working this job, and you probably have worked a shitty retail job once or twice in your life, you would be absolutely incensed that every night you walk back to this department that you have to straighten, that you have to clean, and you find Barbie dolls where the puzzles should be, and you find Tonka trucks where the Transformers are, and you find those creepy baby, realistic baby dolls that I guess actually piss and shit now. You find those over in the food department somewhere, okay? So you should have, just a modicum of respect for us and instruct your children that when they're done slobbering all over these toys, that they should just, put them back. You let them slobber, let them touch, I don't care. You know what? Because at least I won't have to touch them. I won't have to pick it up, touch all the slobber, and whatever else is on your kids' hands, because kids are, they don't care where their hands are as much as adults do most of the time. I won't have to pick it up and put it back on the thing. I don't have to touch all of that. Some of you may think I'm overreacting, but whenever I see a kid touch something, I don't really want... Okay, here's the thing. The other day, there was a bunch of John Cena action figures laid all over the bottom shelf, and they should have been on the pegs. I picked one of them up, and the first thing I felt was slobber. At that point, I almost dropped everything and asked if I could go and clean bathrooms, because I would have less of a chance of catching some kind of virus or bug in the bathrooms than I would of being in this toy department for another 10 minutes, okay? I would clean those toilets with my tongue. Toilets that have seated thousands of hairy, dirty, filthy, sweaty, disgusting, poopy asses. I would rather clean those things with my tongue, knowing that I would have less of a chance of catching some sort of disease than being in this toy department for just 10 or 15 minutes. It repulses me. Not just the slobber and all that, but the fact that these parents can't just tell their kids to put the stuff back where they got it. It's a simple task. You pick something up, it says try me, okay, and more often than not, they don't just try the things, they manhandle the things and play them until the batteries are dead, okay? And you put it back. And on top of all of this, okay, electronics department, when I hired in, okay, we are instructed to stay there. If there's nobody else in electronics, you cannot leave, okay? You have to either have to piss really bad or you have to be about ready to shit your pants. Okay? You can't leave. But they're all too eager to get on that fucking earbud of doom and say, go help toys. There's a matter that needs to be resolved. A really pressing, burning matter that needs to be resolved. And you want to know what that really pressing, burning matter that needs to be resolved is? Somebody needs to find a Barbie doll. Well, how the hell am I, somebody who spends most of his time in electronics, supposed to know where this particular Barbie doll is, especially when you have all of this shit strewn about, just thrown and tossed errantly? Where are the other guys that are supposed to straighten this? Where are you? People working in the other departments, the people who are designated to work in toys, where the hell are you? The people who are supposed to be doing this, where the hell are you? Because I sure as hell don't know where this shit goes. I have a hard enough time finding it just when everything is straight, let alone everything is it's just strewn about. So more often than not, I walk away not fulfilling and satisfying the customer's needs because I don't know where the fuck this stuff is. Because of these kids, because of these parents, and because of other people in the store not doing their job, not being in their designated place when me, a lowly electronics department associate slash salesperson, has to come over there and fumble fuck around and piss in the wind. Good life lesson. For you parents out there that may be watching this, okay, and I'm the last one to be talking about putting stuff where it should go, but that's at home, okay? That's at home. That's my own personal issue. When you're at the store, think of us, the lowly, low guy on the totem pole retail clerks. Think of us. Tell your kids, put stuff where it belongs. It's a good life lesson for your kids later on in life because you know what happens. You lose your keys somewhere. You spend an hour trying to find your keys. You find your keys, you walk out the door pissed off. You get in your car, you're really pissed off. You cut some guy off. You cut the guy off, he cuts your throat, and you die. That's what happens when you don't put stuff where it belongs. Tell your kids that. And hell yes, it's exaggerated, but tell little Billy and Susie that, hey, you don't put your keys away, it can lead up to you dying, getting killed by some irate, irascible person. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll put the toys back where they belong. Sure, they'll spit and slobber and poop all over them, but you know what? I won't have to touch them. And neither will my associates or my co-workers. And you know what? Maybe we'll be one step closer to achieving world peace with the simple, selfless act of putting a toy back in its designated place. Or something like that. Maybe it would just make me a happier person.